Have you ever stopped to observe how we feel when we enter a messy environment? Our hearts race, our minds become confused, and it feels like something heavy settles on our shoulders. It's not just a feeling. Studies show that disorganized spaces actually increase our stress levels, decrease our ability to concentrate, and even affect our sleep. Today I'm going to share with you how to transform any chaotic environment into a sanctuary of peace, inspired by Japanese principles of simplicity. The secret isn't in buying expensive organizers or special decorations, but in an inner transformation that naturally reflects in the spaces around us. Have you ever entered a traditional Japanese home? What stands out the most is not what exists, but what doesn't exist. The spaces honor emptiness. Each object has a purpose, and there's a sense that everything breathes. This isn't just an aesthetic choice, but a reflection of a life philosophy that values clarity, intention, and presence. And the good news? You don't need to be Japanese or turn your home into a temple to experience that feeling of lightness and peace. Our modern world constantly bombards us with messages about what we need to buy, accumulate, and achieve to be happy. We enter homes that more closely resemble storage units for our consumer impulses than sanctuaries for our souls. Closets stuffed with clothes we don't wear, drawers overflowing with things we've forgotten we have, surfaces cluttered with meaningless objects, and we wonder why we feel that constant restlessness, that feeling that something is missing, even when surrounded by so many possessions. What we learn from the Japanese approach is not just how to fold t-shirts or organize drawers. It's something much deeper. How to create space not only in our environments but also in our minds and hearts. How to breathe again. How to find beauty in simplicity and peace in the present moment. Think of a traditional Japanese garden. Every element is carefully considered. The stones are not there by accident. They represent mountains, islands, journeys. The moss grows naturally without being forced. Water flows peacefully. There's a delicate balance between what is placed and what is left open. This same approach can be applied to our homes, our bedrooms, our workspaces. It's not about following strict rules, but about creating spaces that allow us to breathe, think clearly, and live intentionally. When we enter our home, what do we want to feel? Peace, warmth, inspiration. Our home should be a refuge from the chaos of the world, not an extension of it. Yet many of us turn our homes into repositories of stress, worries, and objects that serve no purpose beyond taking up space. The first step toward transformation is recognizing that our relationship with our environment is also our relationship with ourselves. A woman told me how her life changed when she began applying organizing principles inspired by Japanese tradition. She started with the simplest, her bedroom. She removed everything she hadn't used in over a year, created intentional empty spaces, and simplified her morning routine. At first, she felt discomfort, as if she were losing something important. But over time, she realized she was gaining something far more valuable: mental clarity, better sleep quality, and an overall sense of lightness she hadn't experienced since childhood. This is not an uncommon story. Many people report a profound transformation when they begin to simplify their spaces. It's as if, by creating external order, something is reorganized internally as well. Our minds can finally rest when they are not constantly processing the visual clutter around us. Let's start with the kitchen, a space that often reflects our mental state. A kitchen inspired by Japanese principles is not necessarily minimalist in the Western sense, with empty surfaces and a cold appearance. It is a space where every object has a purpose, where there is a defined place for everything, and where functionality merges harmoniously with beauty. First, observe your kitchen with the eyes of a beginner. How many utensils do you actually use? How many cups, plates, and pots do you really need? Many of us keep duplicate items just in case we need them one day, or because they were gifts that we don't have the heart to donate. However, each object occupies not just physical space, but also mental space. When we open a cluttered cabinet, our brain has to process each item, even if unconsciously, which creates a subtle but constant cognitive overload. Instead of trying to organize what you already have, try completely emptying a cabinet or drawer. Clean the space. Feel what it's like to have that area entirely empty. Then reintroduce only the items that you truly use and appreciate. You might be surprised by how many things do not make it back to their original place. This exercise isn't about getting rid of everything, but about creating a conscious relationship with the things we choose to keep in our lives. A kitchen organized according to Japanese principles also values the beauty of imperfection. That slightly asymmetrical cup made by a local artisan, the wooden cutting board that shows signs of use over the years, the old spoon that belonged to your grandmother. These objects carry stories, memories, and human connections. They bring warmth and personality to the space. Simplicity does not mean an absence of character, but a conscious presence. Another important aspect is the relationship with food preparation. In Japanese tradition, cooking is not just a task to be completed quickly, but a practice of mindfulness. Cutting vegetables with precision, arranging food harmoniously on the plate, appreciating the natural colors and textures, these are all part of an approach that respects the food and the process of preparing it. When we organize our kitchen with this mindset, the space itself invites us to have a more conscious relationship with the act of nourishing ourselves and others. Now, let's move to the bedroom, where we spend approximately 1/3 of our lives. A bedroom inspired by Japanese tradition promotes deep rest, regeneration, and dreaming. It is a sanctuary where we leave behind the worries of the day and allow our body and mind to renew themselves. The first principle for transforming your bedroom is to eliminate everything that isn't related to rest and intimacy. Computers, televisions, work papers, these elements bring the energy of the outside world into a space that should be dedicated to retreat. If possible, keep electronic devices out of the bedroom or at least out of sight when not in use. The bed deserves special attention. In Japanese tradition, the futon was stored away during the day, freeing up space in the room. Although few of us follow this practice today, we can apply the underlying principle. The bed should be an invitation to rest, not a storage space for items. Unfolded clothes, stacked books, random objects, all create a sense of clutter that subconsciously affects our ability to fully relax. Here's a simple experiment. Before going to bed, take 5 minutes to tidy up your room. Put away clothes, organize the items on your dresser, and remove any forgotten cups or plates. Notice how different it feels to fall asleep in a clean environment. Many people report that this simple practice has significantly improved their sleep quality. Colors also play an important role. Japanese tradition often favors neutral and natural tones that soothe the senses. That doesn't mean you have to repaint your room in shades of beige, but think about how colors affect your mental state. Vibrant colors can stimulate the mind, while softer tones tend to promote tranquility. Small adjustments, like swapping out a bold comforter for one in a more neutral tone, can make a surprisingly big difference in the atmosphere of the space. Natural lighting is highly valued. If possible, allow sunlight to flow in freely during the day. At night, opt for indirect and soft lighting that signals to your body that it's time to start winding down for rest. Salt lamps, small lamps with yellow light, and candles all create a cozy atmosphere that invites relaxation. The bathroom, often overlooked in our considerations of home wellness, can become an oasis of tranquility when reorganized according to Japanese principles. In Japanese culture, bathing is not just for hygiene, but a ritual of purification and relaxation. The traditional ofuro, a deep soak bath, exemplifies this approach. It's a moment to slow down, feel the water enveloping your body, and let the tensions of the day dissolve. Although few of us have space for a soaking tub, we can transform our ordinary bathroom into a space that invites conscious self-care. Start by removing products you don't use, those half-empty shampoos, creams you tried once and forgot about, expired makeup. Keep only what truly serves a purpose in your current routine. Introduce natural elements, a small plant that thrives on moisture, smooth stones collected from a special trip, a wooden shelf instead of a plastic one. These subtle touches connect the space to the natural world, bringing a sense of calm that synthetic materials rarely provide. Also consider your bathing rituals. Instead of stepping into and out of the shower automatically while mentally planning your day, try turning that moment into a mindful practice. Feel the water on your skin, savor the scent of the soap, notice how your body responds to the warmth. These moments of mindfulness, especially in the morning, can set a completely different tone for the rest of the day. The living room, on the other hand, is where we gather, chat, and connect with family and friends. In the Japanese approach, this space balances functionality and warmth. It's not a showroom meant to impress visitors, but an environment that facilitates genuine connections. Cluttered furniture, is a common issue in Western living rooms. Huge sofas, multiple armchairs, side tables in every corner. All of this can create a sense of confinement, even in large spaces. Try removing a piece of furniture and observe how the environment breathes better. Remember, empty space is not a waste, but a necessity for well-being. The arrangement of furniture also deserves attention. In Japanese tradition, furniture is often arranged to facilitate face-to-face interaction and appreciation of natural elements, such as the view from a window or a simple flower arrangement. Consider reorganizing your living room not just for aesthetic reasons, but with an eye on how the space can better serve human connections. Another often overlooked aspect is visual noise. Too many pictures, excessive decorative objects, and multiple colors and patterns competing for attention. All of this creates a sensory overload that can be exhausting, even if we aren't consciously aware of it. Try to simplify. Temporarily remove most decorative items and reintroduce only those that truly bring joy or special meaning. The workspace, whether a dedicated office or just a corner of the room, greatly benefits from Japanese organizational principles. The ability to concentrate is directly linked to the order of our surrounding environment. A quiet and organized workspace is not a luxury but a necessity for anyone looking to do meaningful work. Start with your desk or workspace surface. In Japanese tradition, only what is necessary for the current task is visible. This doesn't mean hiding everything away in drawers, but being intentional about what deserves to occupy your visual field while you work. A laptop, a notebook, perhaps a simple pen holder. Often that's all we need. Unused papers, extra electronic devices, unnecessary decorations, these can all be stored until they are truly needed. Verticality is a valuable principle for optimizing small spaces. Simple shelves on the wall can keep books and reference materials accessible without taking up desk space. The key is not to fill every available inch, but to leave room for the eyes to rest between objects. The relationship with time is also crucial in the workspace. In the Japanese approach, there is a deep respect for natural rhythms, intense work followed by genuine breaks. Your workspace can reflect this philosophy by including a small area for a cup of tea, a plant to rest your eyes, or even a comfortable chair for moments of reflection. These elements remind us that we are human beings with needs for renewal, not machines of constant productivity. In addition to specific areas of the home, there are daily practices that sustain an organized and tranquil environment. One of these is the routine of entering and exiting. In Japanese tradition, the genkan, the entryway, is a transitional space where we leave the outside world behind before entering the home. Even without a formal entryway, we can create a small ritual, taking off our shoes, placing our bag or backpack in a designated spot, perhaps washing our hands as a symbol of purification. Equally important is the habit of returning things to their place after use. This simple practice prevents the gradual accumulation of clutter that often weighs us down. It doesn't have to be rigid or perfectionist, just mindful. When we finish using something, we take a moment to return it to its designated spot. Over time, this becomes as natural as breathing. The care we take with the objects we own also reflects a Japanese approach. Regularly cleaning, repairing what is broken, polishing what has lost its shine. These are not just household chores, but expressions of respect for the items that serve us. When we treat our possessions with care, we not only prolong their lifespan, but also cultivate an attitude of gratitude and mindfulness that extends into other areas of life. Speaking of gratitude, this is perhaps the most transformative practice we can adopt. In Japanese tradition, there is a deep appreciation for what one already has, rather than a constant desire for more. Before considering a new purchase, ask yourself, what do I already own that serves this purpose? How can I better appreciate what I already have? Often the answer is surprising. We discover that we have everything we need. This approach to gratitude also extends to the empty spaces in our homes. Instead of seeing an empty corner as something to be filled, we can appreciate it as an invitation to breathe, to let creativity flow, to simply be. Empty space is not absence, but possibility. A powerful practice for cultivating this gratitude is to take a few minutes each morning to consciously acknowledge the aspects of your home that serve you well. The bed that has provided rest, the kitchen where you prepare nutritious meals, the window that lets in natural light. These simple acknowledgements subtly change our relationship with our environment, transforming the house from a collection of objects into a living organism that supports our journey. Another fundamental aspect of the Japanese approach is the acceptance of imperfection. In the West, we often strive for immaculate perfection, everything matching, everything new, everything spotless, but there is a profound beauty in the marks of time, in the signs of use, in the small imperfections that tell stories. That table with marks left by meals shared with loved ones. The slightly faded sofa where you snuggled up to read hundreds of books. These imperfections are actually records of life, not flaws to be fixed. This acceptance also extends to the process. Share this blessed video so it can touch and help others like you and me. Don't forget to click the subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being part of our faith community. If you would like to support our channel a little more, consider becoming a member. I'm leaving here 2 more videos for you to continue your search. Thank you, and may God bless you all. See you later.